Hello everybody. So in this video, I am sharing a session that I did with a beautiful woman. She is part of my Patreon community. Every month I do 2 free sessions with my Patreon community members. And on Monday we had our free sessions, and this beautiful woman is one of the ones that received the free session. And I'm sharing it today because I think there are many of us that are currently navigating this physical shift in consciousness. We are consciously ascending, and yet we don't necessarily know how to do it. Are we doing it the right way, right? How do I get into my body? How do I know I'm in my body? How do I open up to the higher realms? How do I know that I'm opening to the higher realms? How do I connect to my guides, my star family, my family of light? How do I know that I am, right? And so in this session, I provide all of this information. It comes through from her guide that shows up. And this beautiful being shares all this information with her about how to get her back into her body, how to feel, how to open up energy centers, how to connect to this being and all the other beings that are around her. And so I'm sharing it so that in the hopes that it assists whoever needs to hear this, and whoever needs to understand that where you are is perfect and divine. And all you need to do is come back into your being, your body, right? Coming back in over and over and over again, and remembering and learning how to do that. This session will provide you with that information. I hope you enjoy. If you're interested in joining our community on Patreon, the information is down below in the description box of this video. I love you so much, and I hope you enjoy. So for those of you that are brand new to the mini sessions, here's what we're going to do. We are going to connect into Charmaine's guides, star family, whoever's around her. And I'm going to channel messages for her. She's going to ask questions. A lot of times, it's also an opportunity for you. Hey, Charmaine, do you have another device on?
No, I do not. Are
Okay.
you getting some feedback?
A little bit of feedback, but that's okay. I'm used to it.
Yeah, there's nothing around me.
That's okay.
Everybody's offline just in case as well.
Perfect. So for those of you that are watching this, you can also tap into the energies that are around Charmaine, and you can feel maybe or see different beings. So it's an opportunity for you also to sort of connect in and tap into who's around her and things like that. So it's a great opportunity for all of us. Okay, my friend, are you ready?
Yes, and I'm sorry, I see someone says lots of feedback. Maybe I should turn my volume down a little bit. I will try that.
Yeah, when I speak, there's I can hear myself. It's like a
okay. Does this help? Is that helping at all?
Let me see. Oh yeah, that helps a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I just had
okay. We're gonna deal with it. It's fine. It's better. It's actually better.
I do a lot of Zooms, and I have to have it loud. So.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay, great.
This is good. Okay, you guys, let's go. So do you have a couple questions?
Yes. Yes, okay. I do.
So what?
First, go ahead.
Wait, don't start yet. Okay. So what we're going to do first is just close our eyes and invite the beings in. Ground yourself into your body, and then you're more than welcome to open up your eyes. You can't see my eyes, but my eyes will be closed. Charmaine, have you ever been in a mini session before? I don't think you have.
No, I'm actually new to the group. You answered a question once for me on a Q&A. Otherwise, I'm rather new.
Oh, well.
Excited.
Exciting. Okay, so I'm going to ground us in, and you're going to call your guides or your family of light in. And then you're more than welcome to keep your eyes closed or to keep your eyes open after that. It's completely up to you. But I will have my eyes closed, tapping into the beings around you. You'll ask some questions, and I'll just start kind of providing the messages that they want to share with you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's close our eyes. And everybody else, if you want to close your eyes and do this, you can as well, or you can keep your eyes open. It's up to you. So go ahead and just take a couple deep breaths. In and out through your nose. Just dropping into our bodies, dropping into this present moment. Just let your shoulders relax. So there's nothing that you have to do. I get to do all of it for you. You just get to be present and receive. So just feel the breath for a moment. Get all the way into your body. And go ahead and bring your awareness to your very first energy center, which is the root chakra. Just sort of bring awareness down into that first energy center and open it up. Just visualize it opening, or intend it to open. And I want you to just visualize this cord of light going straight down into the earth. And then bring your awareness up to the seventh energy center, your crown chakra, and intend for it to open. You can just say out loud or to yourself, my crown chakra is opening. And just allow yourself to be present with those two energy centers completely open. And then go ahead to yourself, ask for your family of light, your guides. If there are specific beings that you want to call in, you can call them in. But in your own mind's eye, just go ahead and invite the beings into your space. You can just say, I'm inviting in my family of light. I'm inviting in my guides. And then after you do, just drop back into your body with your breath. And invite them to come a little bit closer. So they're entering in from behind. And don't worry about whether you can see or feel them. Just know that they're entering from behind. There's one really tall being that's sort of in front of all the other beings that are entering into your space. And if you are comfortable, go ahead and invite them to come in front of you, sort of standing directly in front of you. And then just stay with your breath for a moment. Okay, so the first thing they're saying is they've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. So go ahead and begin your questions, and we will dive deeper into who these beings are, and let them answer some of your questions. But they're definitely excited, and they're letting you know that we've been waiting for you. So I'm not sure if you've been connecting with them before or trying to connect with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. And I figure the reason that I was chosen was because there's a message for me. So that's my first question. Is there something that I need to know?
So is there aspects of you that have self-doubt or not completely trusting in your capabilities, meaning the ability to feel, to see, to hear, to connect, to align, those kinds of things? Are you aware of that?
No, I'm a pretty good meditator. I feel that I connect pretty well. But
Okay, what are you connecting to? They're asking.
I thought it was my higher self.
Pure, yes. So here's what they're pointing out. There is, and this can be very unconscious. So, and this may be why this is the message, or this is the question that you're asking. There is an aspect of you, again, conscious or unconscious, that has a little bit of trepidation, self-doubt, or not trusting of allowing yourself to completely expand beyond the physical, into your multidimensionality, into the higher realms. And again, this can be very unconscious. Okay, it's not like you're choosing this or you're wanting this.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the things, this is why the first thing they said is, we've been waiting for you. It's almost like you've been trying to open the door, and instead of pulling the door open, you've been pushing it the wrong way, unbeknownst to yourself, right? So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just that there is a block, almost like like you're not 100% trusting of what you're capable of. Or like there's like you're not completely opening, even though you feel as if you're completely opening. There's some sort of like blockage, and as soon as that blockage is released, or that surrender is opened, it's like boom, everything starts to come to you. Everything that you're here to receive, experience, feel, do, connect with. So
Is there a way to accomplish that?
yeah. So I want you to visualize, I want you to close your eyes, okay? I want you to put your hands on your belly, both hands. And I want you to visualize yourself inside your body for a moment. So if the mind is going, just let the thoughts kind of move. Don't attach to them or let them convince you of anything. Just let the thoughts go, and just get as present as you can with that breath. And then I want you to invite the being that's standing in front of you. I want you to invite him very close to you. And I want you to notice if there are any thoughts that are coming up, or anything coming up in your mind as you are inviting this beautiful being close to you.
Just a picture of my grandmother.
Okay, great. I want you to invite this being to put his hands, it's a male, right on your heart. I want you to invite him to put his hands right on the top of your head. I want you to invite him to put his hands on your throat. And then I want you to put your hands straight out, like as if you were going to touch him, like your palms were going to be touching each other. I just want you to feel the energy through your hands.
I do feel something.
So there's absolutely nothing you need to do when you begin to reconnect with this beautiful being who's basically your counterpart, your sidekick, your somebody that is, it's not even a person, but it's a being, but it's a very, very, very close, familiar being that's been with you since the moment you dropped into human form. And one of the things he's saying is, there's nothing you need to do to connect with me. You have to just drop in and feel. So there's nowhere you need to go. There's no expanded state you need to move into. There's no meditative techniques. He says he's right here. So it's about feeling. It's about getting deep, deep, deep into your body.
Okay. I
Do you
am an
understand?
overachiever, so
Yes.
I do tend to try too hard.
Mm-hmm. A lot of us do. And there's an aspect of you that doesn't believe that you can get there or that you can do it. So it's like, how I gotta get there. I gotta force, I gotta push, I gotta do. And he's saying, no, there's nothing to do. So you're a very advanced being. You're a very advanced soul. You've been on the earth plane for many, many lifetimes. Um, and you're reawakening, he's saying, to the very easy abilities that you have in human form as soon as they connect and turn on. So it's the opposite sort of what you've been experiencing, right? This force, this push, this why isn't it happening fast enough?
Mhm.
Why are my abilities not activating quick enough, right? There's this knowingness that like there's so much more available, and yet the more you do, the less happens.
Yes,
So
that is true throughout my life in a lot of
mhm,
things, actually.
mhm. So it's a moment of re coming back home to you.
Okay.
No more external. And even when you come back home to you, don't do anything.
It's a matter of
Okay?
allowing.
Just being.
Okay.
So even this practice that we just did, right? This practice that we just did, if you do this practice over and over again, you will remember how to be inside your body, which is one of the hardest things for us to do. It's very hard to remember how to be, how to reconnect and realign and come home to ourselves because we are programmed to do. And so the more you can settle in deep into your body, which can be very uncomfortable, it feels heavy, it feels intense, it feels dense. There's an aspect of you that kind of wants to expand out and be more light, as if that's where it's going to be. And it's the opposite, it's inside. And so do you ever hear whispers? Like he whispers all the time. He's saying, I whisper to you all the time. I whisper to you all the time. I whisper to you all the time.
I do hear whispers. I think it's somebody else, like my daughter or somebody talking to me.
Yeah, it's him. So he says, I whisper to you all the time. Um, he says, you're too hard on yourself. You're very, very hard on yourself. You've taken on a heavy life or like a lot in this lifetime. And it's time to almost drop it and let it go. Um, there's nothing else he says you need to do. There's nothing else you need to do. And I think what he means by that is stop trying to heal or stop trying to fix. Um,
Yes,
just be with you. Come home to you. Everything else will be taken care of. You forgot who you are.
I'm too busy fixing everyone else.
Okay. You got to come back to you. You got to come back to you.
That makes a lot of sense.
And everything else is going to make sense. He already knows your questions. He's already been answering your questions because you've been asking them for a while. So now it's a matter of when you meditate, he says, don't do anything. So don't try to expand out or connect to anything. Find your belly, find your breath. He says, and just do do the exercise that we just did. Call him and have him stand right in front of you. He's showing that there are many other beings that you're going to connect to. So there are many lifetimes where you were very wizardry, or you were very quantum. You had all these magical gifts. Um, he says you're going to come back online. There's no such thing as age or getting too old or not having enough time. So you can throw that out. He says you're going to start to come online and turn on. And so
Hmm.
you got to you got to settle inside you, inside your body, inside your breath, and don't go out. Don't expand out. There's many beings, there's many spirits, there's many consciousnesses that want to connect with you. You got to get inside and do it.
Okay.
So this is going to happen quickly if you just start to practice going inward. You'll also hear your family's guides. You'll start hearing your family's messages for your family. You'll really start to turn on quickly the more you embody. Does this make sense?
Yes, actually, it makes a whole lot of sense. It really does.
So you'll kind of be walking around your house and you're going to start to hear all these voices, and you may already be doing that. You're just not aware of it, but you'll hear uh, you'll start to hear a lot of different messages for a lot of different people, not just for you. It's one of the reasons, or one of the abilities that you'll start to turn on.
I felt like there was something I was supposed to be doing that I have not been doing, and I think I've been trying too hard. Um, like I said, which is a theme in my life. I tend to
Mm-hmm.
work hard. Like working hard is going to get me somewhere.
Well, it's how we're programmed to be as humans.
Yeah.
And now you have to practice the opposite.
Hmm.
So you have to learn to do nothing and just sit inside the body. Practice being in your body more. Practice breathing. Everything happens inside. So the messages you're going to get from other people, the spirits that you're going to connect to, um, the information you're going to receive is going to happen when you're inside the body more.
Okay.
Which also means you have to forgive yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start feeling more. It comes with all these other, uh, you know, pieces of being the human.
Hmm.
But it's how you open up, he's saying, into what you're here to do. So it's almost like you've ever seen the show Long Island Medium? That's the person he's showing me right now. Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
It's almost like you're just going to be walking around and just connecting to people's guides and spirit beings around them. That's what he's showing. If you choose, it's always a choice.
Actually, I would love to be of service, and I've been told I'm a healer, but I sort of didn't want that responsibility because it's a heavy responsibility.
Well, the interesting thing about the word healer, he's saying, is that you get to choose how you do that in this lifetime. Meaning, as soon as you come into your body and start to settle into your frequencies, settle into your breath, settle into your light, settle into your channel, settle into things, and just to start allowing things to open,
Hmm.
you will be able to choose the path that you want to take with regards to a healer. Because sometimes just providing messages to people is healing, right? Or there's many different ways that you get to decide how you're going to serve. You get to decide. And right now you're like, well, I don't even know any of it. So how do I know I get to decide? It'll start to come. It'll turn on. You'll start
Hmm.
to feel things, hear things, receive things, understand things. It just starts to happen.
At one point in my life, I think there was like I was on and I turned off,
It's
actually.
possible. He says one of the things you have to be okay with is that you're going to feel more. So if you start feeling too much and it's overwhelming, you'll shut down.
Hmm.
And if you shut down everything, including
Right.
aligning, connecting, and doing what you're here to do. You have to be okay with feeling,
Okay.
which for many humans, we are not used to feeling.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Extremely uncomfortable.
Hmm.
It's very, very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But you're safe, he's saying, to start to feel again.
Okay.
And you have the ability to make a massive impact on humans if you choose. And there's no right or wrong in terms of how you navigate this,
Hmm.
but it is time to start to remember, which is what you're doing right now.
Right, which is actually what I've been trying to do.
And
And
this
it's
is
funny
a
that you.
really Go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead. I was going to
Well,
say
I
it's
was going
funny
to
that you said something about feeling too old because I have been feeling that way. I've hit my 60s and keep thinking, when is it? When am I going to make that change? When am I going to finally connect? Or, grow up, so to speak.
Yeah, he hears that, and so he wants to just remind you that what if he were to tell you that you have 50 more years of your life, and in those 50 years you're not going to age the way you think you are.
Hmm.
So we have a lot longer than we realize we have. And it's not going to be as torturous as we might imagine it to be. Like, oh my God, 50 more years. Are you kidding? There's no way I want to do that. Um, you have a lot of time and things are going to accelerate. So here's what he wants you to understand. Your mind is very powerful. Your thoughts are very powerful. And you're very hard on yourself. And so when you start to come back into your body and into your breath, you want to be gentle with yourself. And if you have
Hmm.
to exit out and say, I'm not doing this for a week, then you give yourself that permission. You don't want to force anything. If you start to see traumas pop up in your mind, just allow yourself to feel them.
Okay.
Okay. If you start to feel any sort of uncomfortable emotions, just allow yourself to feel them, he's saying. So it's almost like you have to sift through all the other density in the body as you settle back into it. There's no healing you need to do, okay?
Okay.
No healing. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing you need to heal. You just need to feel. And you'll listen to this over and over and over again it sinks in what he's saying more and more. He's asking you to call him in every day if you can. And you're in control of this. So there's no right or wrong. There's no forcing of this. You get to take your time. Don't worry about time. But it is time to come home and get into your belly, to get into your body. And women store a lot of trauma in their belly, in their third and second energy centers. So not that that's gonna, not like, oh, expect trauma to unravel. But what I'm saying is when we have to force ourselves back into our bodies, sometimes we got to feel some traumas that we buried deep inside that we didn't want to feel.
Hmm.
But you're safe.
And who is this? Is this a guardian angel, or you said it was someone that has been with me since I've come?
So you guys have traveled the quantum field together for a very long time. It's almost like a divine counterpart, like a partner, like you would call like a twin flame or a partner, right?
Hmm.
He is, I would say, probably a sixth dimensional consciousness. He's very human-like. He has got a form. He says, I'm very handsome. So he's letting you know he's very handsome. Tell her I'm very handsome. He's very tall, very, very human form. So almost like a Palladian, but he's not as galactic as a Palladian. Um, he says he's stationed in another planetary system. So he's stationed on another planetary body right now, working with you and assisting you. You guys have. Do you ever dream about being on other planets or being in other places that seem very foreign or very like strange?
Not really. Most of my dreams just don't make any sense.
Because he says that you travel in your dream state to where he is. So just maybe be aware of the dreams and like how bizarre they may seem. Um,
Hmm.
but anyway, so go
I
ahead.
don't really get a chance to sleep much, honestly, because I have an ileostomy. And when I roll over, I feel it. So I wake up like every hour and a half or 2 hours. And I was joking about that the other day that you were saying, people go places when they sleep. I think I must take really short trips.
Mm. Do you ever? He says, no, you go, you travel, you travel. He says, you travel. You just There's just a jolting back down into the body more. So there's
Hmm.
a jolting out, a jolting back in, a jolting out. He says, you go, you travel. Um, he's letting you know. He's saying you're going to get through this lifetime. You're going to get through this lifetime. Um, There's many more. So you guys kind of do service together, like, in different, I don't want to say lifetimes, but you do service together. So when you leave this planet, when you leave the earth, you guys may go in just to some other quantum field, dimensional space, and do work somewhere else. But you're always of service. You're always of service. Okay, do you have any other questions for him?
I Yes, I was wondering. I have some problems with my feet. Is there something I can do to heal my feet? It's like a neuropathy, but it's not diabetic. It's I was told that I'm not using my energy correctly.
Yeah, he says, as soon as you start to move into your body more and find your breath and practice breathing and practice opening up. So what's happening is it's almost like, so your feet are the, it's where the energy sort of exits out, and your head is sort of where it enters in.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to get that flow moving. So you want to really start to open up your root energy center, that first energy center, what we did in the very beginning.
Right.
You want to practice sitting and opening and visualizing that light going all the way down to your feet. Visualizing your feet, letting that light move through your feet, and that your feet are energized and moving that light, he says. But you also want to open up your crown. Okay, so you want this free flowing energy to start to move. You've got to be in charge of this. So you've got to
Mm-hmm.
set the intention, right? So there's nothing wrong with you physically, it's energetic. You want to start to get the energy moving. And
Okay.
that's also why you want to get into your body more and more. Because the more you're in your body, connected to it, the more you're with your breath, connected to your breath, the easier this energy is going to start to flow.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to visualize this root energy center open, and you want to visualize the light going down into the earth. You also want to visualize it going through your feet. You can even visualize it right now, right? You're intending for your feet, your human pads, your feet pads to open, to energetically open.
Yeah, I've never done that. I always figure it's leaving through the root, coming in and leaving there. I never involved my feet.
So let's start involving the feet. Visualize the light going right through your little pads.
Mm-hmm.
Feel the energy, just like you felt the energy coming through your hands today. Feel the
Yes.
energy going through your feet. Turn your feet back on.
Okay.
Turn your feet back on. And if you need to sort of sit on a couch and have your feet straight onto the ground, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're sitting on a couch and your feet are, or you're sitting on a chair and your feet are planted on the earth.
Right.
I want you to open up your crown, open up your root, feel the light going through your entire body. Stay inside your body with the breath and feel the light going through your feet. Feel the tingling, feel the activations, feel your feet turning on, feel it connecting to the earth. Start to feel that flow again, that energetic flow.
Okay.
Okay. There's
Sounds
nothing
great.
wrong, but if you start practicing this and intending this, it'll start to flow and move. And then you'll start being in your body more. You'll start breathing more. You'll start feeling your light more. You'll start feeling your frequency more. You'll start, I mean, it just so, it just starts to happen naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So great question, because it's going to assist you.
Well, that's fantastic because I really did not resonate with the surgery they told me to have, and I've been
Oh,
putting
no,
it
no,
off. Yeah.
no, no, no. Good thing you didn't do it. Or if you did
Yeah.
it, we still would be doing the same thing. It's energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're in charge. You
Okay.
know how to do this, and you do it without force, without push, without
Mm-hmm.
saying there's something wrong with you. You've got to do it a specific way. You want to get in the body and find your breath first. You open your crown, you open your root, and you visualize that light. You call this beautiful being in. He'll let you know what his name is. Okay. You
Mm-hmm.
call him in. You call in any other beings or guides, archangels, whoever you want. I want to just let you know that even though he's the only one that's showing up right now for you, there are many spirits and many angels and many beings that are in the room with you. Many. But he's the one that
Okay.
needs to be presented in front of you so that you can begin.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Well, that's fantastic. That's really good news. And it does seem right. It seems absolutely right.
Baby steps.
Mhm. I had a really strange meditation the other night when I did your blue avian that I
Yep.
thought I felt so much energy. I thought I was bouncing on my bed. It scared me.
Mm. Okay. So next time you do it, you want to ground deeper into your body.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And
what I thought.
so,
I must not have been in. I was
yeah.
leaving.
Yep. And again, we don't realize that we're leaving our bodies because we've done it our whole lives. And so, especially with the blue avions, because it is so powerful and it's so quick, right? It's like within 5 minutes, you're like, oh my God, I'm feeling it. So,
Hmm.
the way you get into your body and feel that heavy, heavy, heaviness is you find the breath, anchor yourself into your breath, right? Feel heavy. And
Okay.
the higher the frequencies come, the higher the frequencies, the more work they do on you and the increasing of the frequencies, the heavier you want to feel. It's counterintuitive,
Hmm.
right? Because we start to feel these high frequencies and we kind of instinctively want to float out, but everything happens inside. The healings happen inside physically, the connections happen inside, everything happens inside the body. So you got to feel the heaviness of the body.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting
Okay.
because usually when I meditate, I feel like I'm floating. I feel like I leave and I float.
Yeah, you do, which is
Yeah.
which is why they're asking you to come back in.
Stay in. Stay home.
Because it feels come back home. It feels
Hmm.
so nice to float out
It does.
and
It does feel
to feel that.
good. Hmm.
But we've got to come. Everything happens inside, unfortunately, or
Okay.
fortunately.
Hmm.
So you got to move back in, and you got to refamiliarize yourself with the physicality of you, and feeling that density, that heaviness of the body, and going from and moving and awakening from that place.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay,
have been doing it
so
backwards then. Hmm.
we all do. We all start the other way, and then we're like, and then it becomes apparent that it's actually we got to go in.
Hmm.
We got to go inside, and we got to find the breath. We got to find the heaviness. We got to breathe. We got to anchor down. We got to move the energy with our breath. But as soon as we find ourselves floating out, where's my breath? Bring myself into that. Like you could really imagine like there's an anchor inside your belly kind of holding you down. That's a really good way of staying anchored in the body. Visualize yourself anchored into the body. As soon as you start to feel yourself float out, say, oh, no, I'm going to come back in because everything is inside. All
Okay.
the information, all the messages, all the guidance, all of the activations, all the light, everything's inside. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. You have fun things to play with.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm more than ready.
Trust everything you're hearing. Okay.
Hmm.
Trust it all.
Okay. Do you know, am I doing the right thing in my for my job?
You're doing what is present for you now. So there's no right or wrong.
Hmm.
Um, you will shift out of that when you're ready to shift out of it. In
Yeah,
the
I kind of
meantime,
feel that.
yeah, you'll shift out of it when it's time to shift out of it. In the meantime, settle into it and just allow yourself to be in it, knowing that you're going to shift out of it.
Okay. So once I
Okay.
finally anchor in and get this accomplished and get in touch with myself within, then that's when the shift in my life and pretty much everything will take off.
Yep. But don't forget, you got to feel.
Right.
But absolutely, there will be no more, you will not be able to do what you're doing now. Everything will start to shift in your life. Okay. So
Mhm.
everything. And it can happen really quickly if you commit to really coming home to you, to your light, to not doing anything but breathing, to refamiliarizing yourself with the fact that you're in another human body again.
Mhm.
And that you got to remember all over again how to do this. And you got to connect to a being that you can't necessarily see, right? And you got to have compassion for yourself for the fact that you're going to want to push and force. And there's going to be days where you're going to be frustrated, right? So just allowing yourself to feel it all. And to get in over and over and over again.
Well, I
Anchor
have been
in.
feeling that I am ready for this for a long time, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I felt I was chosen for some reason. That there was, that's why I said, what do they need to tell me?
It's time.
Yeah.
First thing he said, we've been waiting for you.
Hmm.
So it's time. And it can happen very fast if you let go.
Right.
You got to practice surrendering. So he's saying when you sit down in the morning or in the evening or whenever you sit to meditate, you're going to meditate a little bit differently. You're going to meditate inward instead of outward, right? And
Hmm.
then if you want to have a little notepad next to you where you can sort of ask questions before you go into the meditation, or have the notebook there when you come out of the meditation, you can write down what you heard, what you received, what you recognized, what you realized, what you remembered, what you felt, right? Sort of dictating the journey. That
That's
way
good
it's not
advice.
just an experience, but it's something that you're actually physically, tangibly experiencing and watching.
Great advice. Thank you.
Okay. All
It's
right,
very
my love.
exciting. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Okay. You got a lot of beings around you, and a lot of support and a lot of love. So just come back in, come back home, come back into your body. You practice that and let
Hmm.
us know how it goes.
I certainly will.
Okay, my love.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Bye.
Bye.